just hopefully we'll get to draw some shapes. I'm going to try to show you how to draw a couple things here. In math, when we talk about solids, does anybody know what we're talking about? Actually, the technical name is geometric solids. Geometric solids. Solids, when we talk to math, are three-dimensional shapes. Okay, three-dimensional shapes. Usually everything we've been talking about now, we've been talking about squares and rectangles and triangles and things like that. Geometric solids are ones that have length, width, and height. For example, a box is a geometric solid. A water bottle is a solid because it has three dimensions. It's not just a flat thing. And in math, we have a few that we're going to talk about. The first one, write down, is a cube. And I'll try to show you how to draw a cube. Does anybody know what the definition of a cube is? What makes a dice a dice? What is it that makes a cube a cube? Kelsey?
6 sides in the cube.
6 sides, and they are all squares. 6 sides, all squares. My pen's a little behind me here. Okay, so to draw a cube, just start with the square, and then go off kind of the same angle on all sides. And that's kind of, if you want, you can draw a little dash line back here. But that would be a cube. It's not too hard to draw. Actually, probably the easiest way to do it is draw a square here, draw another square just like it's right here, and then connect to all the corners. Okay, so that's cube. A little hard for that. The next one we talk about is a rectangular prism. And a rectangular prism is your garden just generic box. That's all it is a box. Okay, it has 6 sides all made up of rectangles. And again, you can draw it kind of like this. This is how I like to draw. Start with the rectangle, go up and to the right a little bit, draw another rectangle as close as you can to the same exact size, and then connect the corresponding sides. These guys here will be dash lines so that you can see them. A rectangular prism. As long as it's got all rectangles in it, it is a rectangular prism. Is a cube a rectangular prism? Technically, yes, it actually is. It's the same thing. But a cube is a special kind of prism because it has all equal sides. And then, I'll draw it and then I'll ask you if you know what the name of it is. This one here. If you start with kind of, we got to draw this a little goofy like this to get it to kind of look right. If you start with a rectangle that's kind of squished a little bit, put a dot up here and then connect all the corners to that dot. You get, in Egypt there's a lot of these guys, what are they? The pyramids, yep. This is a rectangular pyramid because its bottom is a rectangle. Rectangular pyramid. Okay. You could have a triangular pyramid just as well by start with a triangle on the bottom and doing the same thing with the little dots up there. But they're pyramids. What? You can't see the orange? The who? Oh, I do the white so it looks like it's a dash. That's right. Okay. Then we have a can type thing. Looks like this and like this. Yeah. Get a little dash line back here. These are called cylinders. Or a can. A can that's a pyramid. Get a different color here. A can that is a pyramid. I hate to do this again to you, Jacob. A can that is a pyramid is called a.
Oh,
There you go.
rectangular.
A cone. And the one thing that we're missing is, Yep. or a ball, as we would. Little circle, you try to make it look like a little ball by putting a little dashed oval ring around the inside of it. That is our sphere. Sorry. It's the H. Kind of a ball shaped object there. Let me know when you've got all those drawn, because I have to go through the page. Okay, prisms are easy. Start with a rectangle. Draw another rectangle up and to the right. And connect the corners. Alright, I'll come back to this page if you need a little bit later. I am going to draw another rectangular prism here just because I want to talk about it. Let's make this one look like this. Let's make it like a cereal box, I guess. Yeah, I just need to move on here. Let's see this, and I'm going to draw the sides you can't see, that's why we make those dashed. Let's call this a nice Wheaties box. When we talk about some solids, we talk about a couple different sides or things that they have. We have what are called faces. And when you talk about the faces of a solid, that means it's the same thing as the sides. So if you look at this rectangular prism there, how many sides does it have? And you have to remember there's some sides you can't see, that's why we have dashed lines there. How many sides does this have? Well, we've got the front and the back that you can't see back there. That's two sides. You've got the, you could actually write it in there. You've got the top and the bottom. And then you've got this right side and the left side over there. How many faces does a rectangular prism have, Christine?
6.
Yeah, it has 6 faces. Not all shapes have 6. If we did a rectangular prism, and I asked you how many faces a rectangular prism has, I mean pyramid. If I asked you how many a rectangular pyramid had, well, you've got the bottom, that's 1, and then how many sides make up to the point? Just 4 more. So a total of how many? Yeah, this has 5 faces. Okay. Then we have what are called, let's make sure I get it here, vertices. Vertices. And a vertice, which by the way the single of it is a vertex, those are the points. Okay, the points. Here's a point, there's a point, there's a point, there's one back there that we can't see, there's a point there, there's a point there, there's the point there. The points are the things where if you actually got hit, if that point hit you first when somebody threw it at you, that would hurt a lot more than if the face hit you first. How many vertices does this rectangular prism have? How many points? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 vertices. in that thing there. I'm trying to look for something else that would have other vertices in there. How many vertices on that pyramid? How many points do you see on the pyramid? Eli? Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 vertices. Or vertices. And then the last thing we talk about are the edges. Edges. What is an edge? You'd call it kind of like a corner. It's where two faces kind of meet and make that little point, sharp kind of angle thing. Here's an edge. There's an edge. There's an edge. You know, we got edges here. Edge, 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 edge. How many edges does this shape have? There's a lot of them because you got 1, 2, 3, 4 that make up the top. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 that make up the sides. And you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 that make up the bottom. How many edges is that, Alexa? That would be 12 edges. How many edges does the pyramid have? How many edges? Evan? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It would be 8 edges. Right there. I believe that's good there. You kind of get the gist of that. Take a look at page 542 in your books, please.